Atkinson-Shiffrin model of memory was first developed by Richard Atkinson and Richard Shiffrin in 1968. They believed that once information enters the brain, it must be either stored or maintained, and that the information which is stored goes into three distinct memory systems: the sensory register, short-term memory, and long-term memory. Let's look at these components more closely. Sensory register is the first memory system that information passes through. The sensory register perceives and retains information that is received through the five senses for a very short amount of time, only few seconds. Though we have sensory registers for all five senses, only two have been well studied. Research has primarily focused on iconic memory, echoic memory. It is estimated that we can hold information in iconic memory for less than 1 second, while we can keep information in echoic memory for up to 5 seconds. We can consider our sensory register as a holding bin that keeps the information until we decide what items that we want to pay attention to. Most information that is not attended to was forgotten. Paying attention allows us to move information from sensory register to short-term memory. Short-term memory is where we keep the content of our current thoughts. We can think of our short-term memory as where we store information that we can actively work with and use. It's estimated that we can hold information in short-term memory between 18 and 20 seconds, though there are techniques that we can use to increase this. For example, many people remember their phone numbers by repeating them over and over again in their heads until they can actually write them down or dial them. By continually repeating the numbers, you are rehearsing, which extends the length of time you can recall the number. This brings up another point. The more we repeat or use information, the more likely it is to move into long-term memory. There are limitations to how much information we can keep in short-term memory. In 1986, a cognitive scientist called George Miller published a paper called The Magic Number 7. In his paper, he claims that short-term memory has limited capacity and duration, which works like RAM memory in computer, proving a working space. It is thought to be 7 bits in length. That is, we normally only remember 7 items for around 30 seconds. Long-term memory is obviously enough intended for storage of information over a long period of time. Despite our everyday impression of forgetting, it seems likely that long-term memory actually decays very little over time and can store a seemingly unlimited amount of information almost indefinitely. However, there is also some evidence that long-term memory does also encode to some extent by sound. For example, where we cannot quite remember a word, but it is on the tip of the tongue. This is usually based on the sound of a word, not its meaning. Recall or retrieval of memory refers to the subsequent reaccessing of events or information from the past, which have been previously encoded and stored in long-term memory. Because of the way memories are encoded and stored, memory recall is effectively on-the-fly reconstruction of elements scattered throughout various areas of our brains. Memories are not stored in our brains like books on a library shelf, or even as a collection of self-contained recordings or pictures or video clips, but may be better thought of it as kind of jigsaw puzzle, involving different elements stored in disparate parts of the brain linked together by association and neural network. Memory retrieval therefore requires revisiting the nerve pathways the brain formed when encoding the memory, and the strength of these pathways determines how quickly the memory can be recalled. Recall effectively returns a memory from long-term memory to short-term memory or working memory, where it can be accessed in a kind of mirror image of the encoding process. It is then restored back in long-term memory, thus reconsolidating and strengthens it. Here is a little clip about how poor encoding can affect remembering and how rehearsing can benefit us remembering better. Hope you guys enjoy. Hey guys.
Hey.
So what's the plan?
So we're planning for the Christmas party.
Okay.
And I need two guys to get some stuff for the party.
I brought my car, so I guess we can go to Ralph's and grab those things.
No, it's okay. Let's go.
Let's go.
So Mary, what do I have to buy?
So you need to buy some ice,
Ice, mushroom,
cake,
cake,
soda.
soda,
Yes, soda. Beef patties.
beef patties,
Pork chop.
Pork chops. Okay. And then?
Chips and dip.
Oh, chips and dip. There's more?
Yeah, there's one.
Okay, it's cake, ice, chips and dips.
And there's wine.
Wine,
You guys like that. And then maybe some plates, some forks,
plates, forks.
maybe some napkins with some people missing.
Okay, napkins,
And cups.
cups,
Do we need balloons or so many balloons?
balloons?
Yeah,
Okay.
why not?
Alright, make it more lively, I guess.
And rice.
Rice?
Yeah.
Who's gonna eat rice?
I do not know.
Just because I'm Asian. Okay, so I got rice, cake, cookie, water, meats, wine, and chips. What else did she say? I can't remember because I was driving and. I got the stuff.
Okay.
You're missing a few items in here that I needed.
Really?
Yes.
I got the water, wine, meat, chips.
Oh, well.
I mean, I couldn't really remember everything. There's so many things on the list.
Well, maybe if you paid attention a bit.
I was driving.
Oh.
What am I missing?
Oh, you're missing a lot of stuff. Yeah, you're missing the balloons, the cups, the plates, the pizza.
Oh, you forgot the pizza?
The pizza, yeah.
Ah,
The
I
ice
forget the
cream.
pizza. Oh man.
Yeah,
I don't remember everything.
I was writing it down while doing my homework.
You remember everything by just writing down?
Yeah.
Maybe you should have gone. You have
No.
better memory than I do.
Oh.
It's not bad, but I was reading.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should have rehearsed it more
Maybe you should.
Next time.
next time.
Okay.
Okay.